Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Sue, and I'm the founder of Sustain.ALL and Ship That Moment. And and I'm creating experiences on different sustainable actions in Berlin and beyond. And we are here with different creators today to also record our podcast, Belonging Through Creativity. And we are at KAOS Berlin, and I'm sitting here with three different creators. So, I'm super excited. First of all, thank you for being here with us at the Young Live events. And so maybe let's start with learning from you. Who are you? What are you creating? And maybe why are you here today?
So, yes. Yeah, my name is Peter, but here I'm in the role of introduce self. Um, yeah, what am I creating? I try to be a pool for creation. Like I don't, really try to create by myself. I try to enable people to get creative actually and to get in touch with the creative essence inside of themselves.
Thank you so much. And maybe can you pass the mic to Henny?
Thanks for having me. My name is Henrike Ott. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator. I am doing illustrations mostly of my favorite music artists, and I'm a creative embodying since 2012. Now doing every different styles of graphic design online or also print related stuff.
Yes, we are at Vika.
Hi, my name is Vika. I'm a jewelry designer. I have my own jewelry label. It's called Vika Jewels. And I started to design jewelry 13 years ago. And since 10 years, I have my own label. And the jewelry is handmade in Bali from recycled sterling silver. And it's also gold plated. And and I design it in Berlin.
Which is sustainable and local, I guess.
I mean, it's recycled sterling silver, so it's sustainable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, like for first of all telling about yourself, and so maybe like can you share a bit like about your journey? So how did you get into this field? What you are creating right now, and like maybe what inspires you today, like your creativity as an artist, and maybe you can tell also is it something personally to you, like how it's like related with your job, with your creation. Maybe can you elaborate on this a bit?
You can just okay. When I just started to create jewelry, design jewelry, it was just a hobby, like a little afternoon hobby, and I started because I wanted to do jewelry for myself. So I was like thinking, what would I like to wear, and then I designed it, and I found some yeah um, silversmith who was doing it for me. And till today, I think the jewelry I'm designing is mostly for myself. And I'm just happy if there are also other people who like it the same way I do. And and my inspiration, I think I just tap them from like everyday life or traveling or I don't know, seeing old films and to watching old movies or whatever. Like I think inspiration is everywhere around us every day. And that's it. Yeah.
Oh, in my case, it's a bit the same. Like the things I'm exhibiting here at House Berlin are very it's private stuff, very like my personal illustrations because I started like I studied graphic design. After that, I was employed in a corporate design company. Then I moved to Berlin and started to be a freelancer. And I was lost at some point. And I just wanted to create things for my own to just get back on my feet to that point. And I started this illustration thing that is inspired by music. I started to portray my favorite artists, as I said. And then I kind of connected to different communities here in Berlin, like with other illustrators through Instagram, for example. And they introduced me to the Berlin music scene, I would say, because we were listening to the same music. So I started to be part of the music community when it comes to rap music here in Berlin. And yeah, this both things merged together in a way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, my journey to, let's say, creativity is very much belonging as well to finding out about who I really am, and and yeah, this whole journey about like becoming clear about what is really going on in my life and where I can be like without trying to be someone, but trying to be really myself. Like they say, this easy word, authenticity, it has so many facets. And this is my ongoing journey to become more myself, to get to know my creativity, and to also enable others to, find themselves and their creativity by using, yeah, all sorts of ways that are available. Like, I don't know when the day starts, like how I'm gonna find a way to, have a rendezvous with myself this very day. But I cultivate methods. And the very thing that I'm here for today is called Infinite Self. It's a feeling, actually a feeling of belonging and actually a feeling of connection, topics that we're going to talk about later as well, and how we can achieve this with a dietary supplement that is made of very conservative Mediterranean plants.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I would like, yeah, grasp the point belonging, because I hear like how your maybe journey, like from your side, finding like the belonging, maybe like in person as in you, and finding like your higher self. But also for you, I heard more like on communities. And maybe would you like to give a bit more, what does it mean belonging to you? Actually, belonging like inspires your creativity, or is it like true community? Is it true Berlin? Like maybe in Berlin is like also, since we're in Berlin now in a location which also has like sparks of creativity everywhere. So maybe you can tell me what's actually what's belonging for you, and do you feel belong to the city?
That's an interesting question. Um, I think it could be very difficult to feel like you belong somewhere. Sometimes you are lucky enough to find the right communities, as I, for example, did with the small graphic design illustration music community, I would say. Um, but I'm, for example, pretty much of an introvert. For me, it's hard to get in touch with different communities because I am a shy person. But when it comes to belonging, I always also think about the people for who it's difficult to belong to. Like my work, when it comes to my work for the blog is called 365 female essays, and it was founded in 2019, and it's about like introducing female rappers to the world. It was like one female rapper a day back in the days. So this whole blog is full of inspiration to find female rappers, because female rappers, they have difficulties in the industry. And I make this portray illustrations for this blog, so we help them to have a feeling of belonging to the soul culture. And also, the book I brought with me, it's about underground rappers, where we are introducing two underground rappers in each federal state of Germany, a male and female rapper mostly. And it's also to give them some kind of platform, and also the feeling of belonging to this community, because it's hard for them to take place in the mainstream. So, yeah, I have several projects where believe I could help people to belong to something, to the community.
This is very beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, this topic of belonging for me, there's different dimensions of it that, I can talk for myself that I love to feel connected with a, you know, individual or group of people around me and find some like common ground to, have expression, to have, a time together that is loving, and in a way like just like recognize each other and to get in some vibe with each other. So there's for sure like a very very old desire in me, like to connect and to feel like belonging to a person, to a group of people, or even to a place like this place. um I I see the relevance of like physical places also, especially today as we move on to live more digital. So there could be also a deep sense of belonging to a tree that you find in the park, if it becomes maybe your special tree friend, or like a place like KAOS where we are right now, which is sort of a second home for me, and a place where wonderful things can happen. I can invite people, things can grow. Yeah. But then there's another dimension I want to talk about, which is the sense of belonging to myself. And this is like a very personal, very intimate thing, like really belonging to myself and really belonging to my life, and my life belonging to me. Like this sort of resonance that I'm searching for all my life, that things feel right. And it can get very chaotic, and it's going to be very, very different each every moment. But this is what is actually my big motive in life, like to find like those like moments that belong to me, and like really go in resonance with these moments, like be alone in a one-on-one or with a group of people, with a tree or with a like physical space, like piece of architecture, the sea. Yeah. Okay.
It's very beautiful, like how you actually defines like your definition of longing. And maybe so I will just like move on like with question maybe for you, Vika. So I was wondering, like you were also like saying like you're producing also in Berlin, but also from Bali. So maybe can you elaborate a bit more on that? Thank you.
I design and burn and I produce in Bali. All of the jewelry is produced in Bali.
Ah, okay. Okay. So maybe on that sense. So maybe like on that sense, So how did your maybe journey of production in Bali, how did it started, and how maybe did you find maybe your belonging there, since maybe it's also like a city for you, but you decided to create your business. So yeah.
So I was born in Ukraine and I grew up in Poland. And then I moved to Bali and I lived 7 years in Bali. And this is where I started to design jewelry. And then I was working with different silversmiths, different factories, made a lot of experiences. And in the end, I found a really amazing factory with who I work with to today. So it's 10 years now. And the 2015, when I started to work with them, they already asked me if I would like to work with recycled sterling silver, which I found amazing. I never heard of that before. And then I moved back. I moved back to Germany, and first I landed again in Köln. But I had like a voice or a calling. I had a calling. I really wanted to go to Berlin. And I think Berlin is a really special place. It's yeah, it has this soul of freedom kind of, I think. And that's why I ended up here. And I try to combine this what I have with the sustainable production value and the freedom of Berlin. Yeah.
This is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. So maybe I would like to like go to another topic, because I think all of you in your way of expression, I think it's for all of you different. Like how you your creation process, how you design stuff, and maybe how you also bring yourself maybe to your business. So maybe let's talk about business a bit. So because this is, I think it's an important point. So how do you sustain yourself, your well-being, and because on the other side there's also like you, I mean, I also know from myself like creation like 7/24 hour, I mean this is not possible. So I'm like wondering, I think do you have a solution for this? So but I'm wondering like how is your for you personally, how do you balance, how it's like your tricks maybe you can share with the audience. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Well, yes, balance and boundaries is a difficult topic for me. um, yeah, especially when it comes to creation and when the creative energy is finally unleashed, then I'm, you know, I'm not caring. I'm in flow state. I'm not caring about the time. I'm not caring about the food. I'm not caring about like watching. If I check mark everything and like get every chat message answered and those things. So if this holy thing of creation and flow state is happening, then I really try to immerse into that, and then take the consequences later. So the consequences may be that I didn't get much sleep, or didn't get much food, but my body seems to be like able to deal with this like for short amounts of time. When it comes to like being more sustainable and like being also in business, which is also the case for me, I have to find ways to balance myself and also to treat myself, let's say, with energy, with movement. So it's very, very like different a day without moving, like just like sitting in front of the computer, or like doing, let's say, a activity where you have to sit all the time, uh, where like there's maybe just 20 minutes before where you already get the heartbeat going, and like in the best case do some somatic work or something like, I don't know if you're familiar with the term somatic work.
We are gonna do now a bit.
Yeah, something like people know yoga, or people know qigong, or people know like things like running, like just go out in nature and get into your pace, get into your rhythm, and like get into your body, and then like return from this, like maybe even a small journey of 20-25 minutes, then return home like loaded, with energy, having the clarity of sort of a meditation that you had, and then like one stone that you throw in there, that's like your mind has created like one beautiful idea. You throw it, into this like still cool, and you can create a big wave and ride on this wave for a day. um, of course, it's not always happening to be balanced and like having slept well, having like the structure of like people that usually like go to normal jobs. So my trick is to not set the alarm. So most of the time, if it's possible, I don't have appointments in the morning. So if the night gets late, then I can like sleep as far as possible in the morning. So this is the trick number one. And trick number two is like movement and meditation. So if I can fuse it into one with qigong, for example, or with yoga or something similar like somatic experience, then I really like it. Fuse those things in like one, and then the rest is I'm gonna tell you more about it itself. Like to have a way to um, nourish me with nutrition that is bringing me into my creativity, into my flow set, and even into myself, into the deep core of my soul.
Mhm.
So this is my trick that I want to talk about later more.
Okay.
So I have a stand here to tell you how you can achieve this with the supplements and make your body like be prepared for self experience.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the tricks. Yeah. Do you want to share, Henny?
Sounds interesting. I need to visit later.
Yes.
Brilliant. First of all, I would like to share that, especially in Berlin, where there are so many creative people, it can be very overwhelming at times to also be creative. And when you have this kind of blockade every once in a while, every creative has that. It's even more overwhelming and to live in Berlin then. I'd like to, my personal thing is I'd like to stick to my routines. I'm also about movement. I discovered fitness for me, so I'm going to do my training, get back to into my body, um, get my head free of all the stuff that's in there, and also getting into my routines when it comes, for example, to illustrating things, because this portrait illustrations, I'm doing them for a while. It's easy for me to make them. So when I get back to illustrating, it always calms me down and gives me space to start new, because I do what I believe I can. And from there, I start to create new ways to do my illustrations. Yeah, I think that's how I do it.
Thank you so much. Do you have also like tricks or tips like to boost your creativity? Like, so what's your
Um, tricks.
or maybe like for your personally, like what do you do like in your daily life? Because this is basically your daily life, like creating and designing jewelry. So like what's like boosting? How do you reach maybe that your higher design creativity side of you?
Yeah, I think for me it's just hard to find the balance between the creative work and business life, accounting or whatever. So I think I just also stick to my routines, and this is
Uh-huh.
So something like which role does music play for your creativity? Do you use music consciously to set up a certain vibe that gets you creative? because I can tell for myself, I make a lot of use of music. That's what I wanted to add to, my tips. I also have playlists to share for any who likes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my whole day consists of playing music, so I don't, I actually don't think that I use it consciously to get me somewhere. But yeah, as music like decides where my emotions go, so yeah, maybe unconsciously I also use it. Maybe.
I mean, me too. Yeah, I listen to music every day from morning to evening, kind of. So, but I do have some songs I like the most, or maybe I have to listen to that to get in certain mood. Yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah. I have like a yes, yeah. Listen to what
Okay.
the child.
Okay, so I understand like how you actually boost your own creativity, and maybe like so we are coming like slowly to the end, and I want to ask like one maybe like final question. So because we are talking about here your how also the maybe like the city shapes your work, or maybe like your kind of sense of belonging, but maybe when we are thinking about like systemic change, so maybe what will be your wish, maybe here you can put it out loud, to make it more sustainable and inclusive in Berlin, that like maybe that you have more freedom to create and not maybe a hustle culture. And yeah, so maybe what will be your wish for the system change?
Yeah, I'm grabbing the microphone because what we say is definitely an answer to me, and is also belonging, to this place here, chaos, which actually 1.5 years ago decided to form a cooperative with the motive of creating this bubble of like old Berlin, old creative, like Berlin, with people that can just live into the day and create to their heart, be like-minded people, which is still affordable lifestyle, which is just a safe space to to go to create and to be like co-inspired with others. And actually, yeah, this place that we're in today, it has a long history, but what we created in, I was not yet there by this time, but in 2012, I believe, when KAOS was founded, it was a kind of oasis, like a very liberal space where things would just uh, be created from scratch, and become a certain identity of a place that at the same time has not a particular identity, which is like very free. We have the water here, like the water energy is here. We have like a lots of different artists, and what we want to make further sustainable in this kind of culture is to have a space where for the next 100 years, that's why we call it chaos forever. So this is the motive for the cooperative. We want to encapsulate this feeling of freedom, of creativity, of like liberal togetherness, like where you don't have to interact, but you have all the potentials around you, and then suddenly there's a spark, and suddenly there's corporations and things happening, and like um yes, for everyone who's interested in this topic, how to be maybe a part of this. Also, to for the next 100 years, pay a fair price of rent, and you have this beautiful co-creation, because we are trying to get more land than we have here, and make it like even more accessible to people, like to more people. So as you ask this question, like for me, is this like how can you create a space and a culture where like this sort of artist life,
Yeah.
creativity and togetherness, and like everything that is so magic that I cannot explain it, is able to bloom. Yeah. So this is a big mission for Berlin today.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think this is also like exactly a big mission for Berlin, since there are like so much spaces like this, and now like the mission of the city is actually transforming also those spaces, but also maybe it's a super important point, like how do we create the spaces with for more co-creation so that we give like to the right target group that they can actually transform the space to make it more sustainable, more inclusive. And yeah, so maybe I see Wika with the mic.
Just wanted this short message. Fundings. I think there should be more fundings for creative people so they just can create and that's it and not suffer.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, like both of them said. Berlin kind of gets too expensive for creatives, although the creativity is the essence, what makes the city so alive. And it's crazy that the Senate cuts off so much money. So, yeah, I would wish for more empathy and for more thinking of sustainability when it comes to, yeah, funding. That's a good point.
I think it's a nice closing round. Where the attention goes, like the money flows. Maybe let's hope for this. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, thank you so much, like for bringing your different, like diverse perspectives on your like creation and like feeling this sense of belonging in the city, and talking also about the challenges at the end. I think this is like an important topic to bring it out and maybe to share and to reach millions through this podcast. And so, yeah, so I would say here on this point, I can say, yeah, thank you so much for joining, for being the part, for creating the space, and in this beautiful location, KAOS, with Young Live events. And yeah, and see you soon.